This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball on the banks of the Allegheny. A Saturday night in Pittsburgh. We're at PNC Park, game number 2 of the weekend series. It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And welcome to the broadcast booth here at PNC Park. I'm Dan McLaughlin. That's Brad Thompson. Jeremiah Johnson is with us as well. Jack Flaherty is on the mound for St. Louis. First time out. Not bad. We'll see how he builds on that here in game 2 for him.
Yeah, certainly came away from that first game encouraged of what he did against the Nationals. First of all, it just looked better. Last time when he came back, and actually his first start back of the year was against the Buccos, it just didn't look right. Against the Nationals, the arm angle was up. The velocity was there. We saw him up as high as 97 miles an hour. Also punched out 6. You'd like to see a little bit less traffic. He did surrender the 6 hits, but I like what we saw from Jack.
JT Brubaker going for the Pirates. Not much success against St. Louis. The same could not be said for Jack Flaherty against Pittsburgh.
Jack has been very good against the Pirates in his career, whether it be at home or on the road, but on the road, even better. A 1.95 ERA here at PNC. Let's hope Jack is able to add to these numbers.
Brubaker, Flaherty, the Pirates, the Cardinals. Game number 2 of the weekend series coming up. Pittsburgh and St. Louis on Bally Sports. On Bally Sports Midwest, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Clemente statue just outside the ballpark. We're at PNC Park. It's the Cardinals, it's the Pirates. It's a late start, a 7:35 first pitch, 72 degrees, and a busy sports day here in Pittsburgh. Tennessee and Pitt playing just down the road. Major League Baseball tonight. Jeremiah Johnson, Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin with you, which should be an entertaining game number 2.
Absolutely should. And the Cardinals are looking for a bounce-back performance. They got, out-hit 15-6 yesterday. Drop it 8-2, but that's the beauty of baseball. You have a down day, get to play again the next day. See if they can even things up.
So the Cardinals are trying to avoid losing 3 consecutive games for the first time since early July. Brendan Donovan at the top of the lineup, then Dickerson and Goldie, Arenado, O'Neill, Gorman, Pujols, Molina, and DeYoung. Against JT Brubaker, his record is 3-11 with a 4.35 ERA.
Yeah, JT's making his 26th start of the year. This guy was their opening day starter. He got good stuff.
And the first pitch delivered in for a strike. The Hyundai pitch arsenal.
A lot of sinker slider for JT Brubaker. The lefties will see more of the curveball, but you're going to see sinking it in, sliding it away to the right-handers. And that's going to be a big key for Brubaker's success. Can he spot up that fastball glove side, get in on the lefties? He does run into trouble when that pitch runs over the plate.
Brendan Donovan at the top of the St. Louis lineup. And the next to him is a called third strike on the inside corner. So 3 pitches and a strikeout for Brubaker. Tyler Heineman is behind the plate as we go around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Hayes, Cruz, Castro, Chavis on the infield, Sawinski, Reynolds, and Mitchell. That trio in the outfield. Here's Corey Dickerson, the former Pirate. Dickerson comes in hitting .290. And off the plate for a ball.
Yeah, that .290 is his highest mark of the year, hitting .400 since the All-Star break. And Dan, the 2 spot in the order, not exactly where it looked like Dickerson was going to profile early on.
No question about it.
But it's a long season. Good things can happen, and good things have been happening for Dickerson. Sprayed a double down the left field line yesterday. That's something we're seeing out of him, just spraying the ball all over.
And the Cardinals come in having won 31 of their last 45 since the All-Star break. 3rd best record in baseball. And that's behind the Dodgers and the Braves. St. Louis's magic number to clinch the Central down to 16. The Brewers lost 8-2 to Cincinnati last night, so it's down to Sweet 16. And Dickerson looks at a ball low. So after the strikeout on 3 pitches, Brubaker, 1-out walk, and it brings in Paul Goldschmidt, celebrating a birthday today. So happy birthday to Goldie. Brad Thompson's Toyota key to the game.
Well, bring them home. You get guys on base, got to get them in. That was an issue yesterday in the ball game. Cardinals only 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. It's actually been an issue here in the last handful of games throughout September. They're about 17th in baseball with runners in scoring position. They've had guys on. Just got to be able to get them in, cash some of these in.
Well, Brad, the last 2 games, the Cardinals have left 18 on.
Not great.
No. And the 0-1 pitch to the 35-year-old Paul Goldschmidt, swung on and missed. Going all the way back to 1876. There have been 17 Triple Crown winners in baseball. Last to do it, Miguel Cabrera. The oldest player to win the Triple Crown, Lou Gehrig, was 31. Goldie trying to do that at the age of 35.
Kind of amazing to me.
It really is. And a chopper towards third. Key Brian Hayes settles and makes the play. The stretch at first by Chavis, and the out. And it brings in Nolan Arenado. There are some guys in this lineup, including Goldie and Arenado. Yadier Molina, really good numbers against Brubaker. Arenado is 5 for 16, 4 doubles and a home run. Nolan 2 home runs shy of another 30 home run season, 10 shy of the century mark in runs batted in.
Base hit here, base hit.
The runner at second base, Corey Dickerson, and the first pitch. Arenado lines it foul down the right field line.
Well, with JT Brubaker, it really does come down to execution. You look at the stuff, you see the sinker, it's running all over the place. His slider is good as well. He's just ended up making a lot of mistakes to the Cardinals specifically. You mentioned the numbers for a few individuals. So far this year in 2 starts, he's got a 6.48 ERA against the Birds.
And the 0-1 pitch to Arenado. Brubaker is 1-8, at least the team is, in his last 9 starts. He himself 1-4. 25 earned in his last 50 innings pitched. So 2 outs, runner at second, and an 0-2 pitch to Arenado. Puts it in play to short. O'Neill Cruz with it, whips it over to first, and the out. Cardinals strand a runner, and it's Jack Flaherty on the mound tonight for St. Louis. Half inning in the books, and there's no score. Right shoulder strain. Lost against the Nationals on Monday. A run over 5 innings. Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Yeah, 4-seam slider. Those are going to be his bread and butter. And it's about spotting those pitches up. You know, bring in the curveball, cutter, changeup. I mean, the guy knows how to pitch. And I think that it would have been crazy to think at his first start back at the big league level, he was going to spot up with everything. We saw a lot of encouraging things. The velocity was good. He had the swing and miss with the 6 punch outs. Now I think the key for him is just get ahead and stay ahead.
Lineup features Cruz, Reynolds, and Castro. Then Gamble, who homered last night, Hayes, Sawinski, Chavis, Mitchell, and Heineman. I think you hear the term that he looked right, and part of that was that his velocity was back. He averaged nearly 94 miles an hour on that fastball, and if you go back to 2019 through 21, he was averaging just about what he threw on Monday.
Well, it was the velocity and the life on it. And when he made a mistake, if he missed arm side, he made adjustments quickly. It's a big thing.
And the 1-0 pitch. Cruz way out in front. Popped up near the screen. Yachty giving a look, and it's out of play. O'Neill Cruz hitting rockets everywhere here in his rookie season with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and comes in with a 6-game hitting streak. 109, 108.5, and then the last one 117.7 miles per hour off the bat. free and easy, and the ball just jumps off his bat.
To me, the most impressive one was the 5th inning triple, because it was a fastball in on the hands, and he actually let it travel, get deep, and drove it the other way in the gap at 108.5.
And the 1-1 pitch hits it the other way, and a base hit against the shift. And the 6'7" O'Neill Cruz is aboard.
If you're wondering, 65.5. Don't always have to hit him hard.
Nope.
Just hit him in the right place. Good slider. It's down under the zone. And he just goes down and gets it. Plays pepper. Shoots it out there. We were having some fun before the game as the Pirates were out here working on some fundamentals. Just focusing on O'Neill Cruz. This kid is a stud. I mean, he makes everything look so easy. It's effortless. He makes Albert Pujols, who's a large man, look like a small man.
That's incredible, that shot right there. I mean, Albert is a big dude. Here's Brian Reynolds. He has grounded into 10 double plays. And the switch hitter digs in for the first time tonight, batting .256, and a fastball taken high. Flaherty's first start of this season came against the Pirates, who was back in the middle of June 15th to be exact. He was returning from the shoulder injury. 4 runs, 3 innings, no decision. Cardinals would lose that game 6-4, but he has dominated Wainwright, the Pittsburgh Pirates, 8-1 with a 2.50 ERA. 13th career start against the Buccos tonight for Jack Flaherty. 2 balls, no strikes. Reynolds has reached base safely in 8 of his last 17 plate appearances. Always liked him as a player. He's a good player.
He is a good player, and you wonder, as you talk about good players here in Pittsburgh, as they get closer to making money, will they be able to keep him around? Will they want to keep him around? Is he one of those building pieces? You've got some young talent. Keep Brian Hayes, a guy they locked up on a deal. Maybe they do that with O'Neill Cruz.
Could be a double play ball. The turn and 2. Gorman, DeYoung, Pujols, 4-6-3 in the double play. 11th double play hit into by Brian Reynolds. Albert Pujols at first base as we go around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Gorman at second. DeYoung is at short. Arenado at third. Then Molina behind the plate. Outfield, Dickerson, O'Neill, and Donovan. We were talking to Ali yesterday about the defensive improvement of Nolan Gorman over the course of the season. He said he's much better than I thought he'd be, and when it comes to double plays, he's probably our best at turning a double play.
Yeah, and he was talking about specifically around the bag, how good his footwork is there, and certainly the arm strength is good, but his transfer is as well. And really on that double play that was turned, his strong feed to Tommy Edman is what made that happen.
No doubt. He's got a third baseman's arm, so that helps. Here's Castro. Hits a high fly ball into deep right center. O'Neill back at the wall and gone. Rodolfo Castro with his 7th home run, and it's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
So we were talking about with JT Brubaker, if you're trying to go in, you got to make sure he gets it in. Well, that's the case right here with Jack Flaherty. He tries to go into Castro, does not get it in, leaks right over the middle of the plate, and he puts a great swing on it.
Hit that high, too, and cleared the wall in right center. And here's Ben Gamel, who is 4 for his last 33, but 3 of the 4 hits have been home runs, which includes a solo shot last night against Miles Michaelis, who went 5. And he checks in with 8 at the start of play tonight. The fireworks going off, so a little bit of a smoke in the cloud hovering over the ballpark. And the 1-1. Kind of a cool fall night too here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's nice. I get a feeling this place is going to get more and more crowded as the evening goes too. People get out of the Pitt Tennessee game, head this way.
There we go.
It's only a few blocks away, so you just walk right down here and check out the game.
Might as well make a day of it. I'm guessing it's going to be a longer walk for some than others.
Why would you say that?
Well, probably not a straight line for a few people.
Enjoyed themselves at that game.
Football.
There you go. The pitch taken high, and the count runs to a full count, 3-2. Gamble head-to-head, 0-2 with a walk against Jack Flaherty. The 3-2 pitch. And a liner into the shift, and that's Nolan Arenado. The home run hit by Rodolfo Castro, and it's 1-0. Albert's coming up. 22 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One. Recognizes players who best represent the game through positive contributions both on and off the field. Vote today. MLB.com/Clemente21. 1-0 our score. Here's Tyler O'Neill. And the first pitch. Take it for a ball off the plate. O'Neill is hitting .227 with 13 home runs. He's driven in 57.
Wait for your pitch.
And O'Neill pops it up behind home plate and close to the upper deck. I don't see many coming up this far, but that one almost did.
I'm ready. Just know that.
You're going to have to be waiting for a while. I don't think there's going to be one that gets up here.
Always be prepared, Dan.
Absolutely. The strike. O'Neill against Brubaker, 4 for 10, couple of home runs, a walk, and he's driven in 5.
If I'm Tyler O'Neill, I'm going to be prepared for another slider away here.
2-2. Got a fastball up.
Told you.
You are on your game.
In fuego.
But that is the pitch that he was going with primarily coming into this start in that kind of count.
No, I just guessed.
There it is. I didn't. I did not. The note said it. The strikeout, the second. There's Nolan Gorman. So the Cardinals an 8-game lead with 23 games left to play, and the magic number at 16. And the Cardinals, with the loss last night, back to 500 on the road, 34-34. St. Louis will go back home, and then it's Milwaukee in town on Tuesday. Reds will also be a part of that homestand. As Gorman hits it up the third base line, but foul. Little squibbler hit down that third base line, and it's 0-2. Before you know it, you're going to have pucks going on around here with the Penguins. You got football going tomorrow and baseball tonight. The shift on the right side. It's a great sports town. I firmly believe that for many, many years. That is hammered deep right. It's at the wall, and it is caught. Hit it high, but not far enough. Right up against that chain link fence. Close.
Really got away with one, too. This is a breaking ball down the middle.
The Cardinal fans even bigger tonight with the red in the seats. He has loved hitting in this ballpark. First in PNC Park history, visiting players average on base percentage, slug, OPS. Leads in hits, home runs, 32 at this ballpark. And the 1-0 pitch. The Cardinal Hall of Famer Willie McGee watching a future baseball Hall of Famer in Albert Pujols. The 1-1. I wonder if Albert is feeling the pressure right now of just getting to A-Rod, getting to fourth place all time.
I'm sure there is, and I'm sure it's not anything that he's like talking about day in and day out, but he knows what he's chasing.
Hit down the left field line, and extra bases here for Albert. On his way to second, and the Cardinals have their first hit. A 2-out double off the bat of Albert Pujols.
Well, JT Brubaker goes with the curveball to Albert Pujols, and he hooks it right down the line. Stays on it well, goes down and gets it.
#12th double of the year for Albert Pujols. And here's Yadier Molina, 5 for 11 against Brubaker. And that hit him. So runners at first and second, and the batter will be Paul DeJong.
So, Paul D, what do you say now?
Barely got Molina.
Well, you had Heineman behind the plate, who was talking to the home plate umpire, said he thought it was a foul ball. That gets him right there in the elbow.
Yep. And then you could also question, did he swing? Now, it looked like he did not, but in the heat of the moment, you know, not having the benefit of a replay, seen that before. A guy swings and it hits him.
Oh, yeah.
So Paul DeJong getting a start tonight. Good numbers again. Another Cardinal against Brubaker. He's hit well at this ballpark. The 1-0 pitch.
Yeah, to your point, against Brubaker, he's 3 for 8 with a couple of home runs and a double. Hope he can unlock some of that right here in a hitter's count. Talk about needing to cash in some opportunities. Big spot here, and maybe something that could build a little momentum for Paul DeJong. He came back from Memphis. He was hot early, has cooled down since.
2 balls, no strikes. That's one I would like on that count, Brad. I don't know if you're in agreement with me, but let it rip. 2-0, get a cookie.
100%.
2-1 pitch. Now 2-2. DeJong with 9 home runs at this ballpark and 7 doubles, which included a 3 home run game here. Pirates with a shift on the left side. And DeJong pops it foul. Cardinals with blazing speed on the bases.
How about they have really good instincts on the bases?
I'm trying to say. Yachty, Albert, smart.
Right.
I don't know what you were thinking.
Hit it in the gap.
The 2-2. Or just hit it over the wall. Then you don't have to worry about it.
That's fine too. Everybody could jog.
Yep.
Leisurely pace.
Take your time.
Cardinals need a little something like that too. Get a little pep back in their step.
Agreed. You don't score, you look flat, and that has been the case here last couple of games.
Yeah, it's certainly not for lack of effort.
2-2, chop to third. Key Brian Hayes and a force at second. St. Louis will strand a pair. The double hit by Albert Pujols. And it's 1-0. Beautiful concourse here in Pittsburgh. And let's check in with Jeremiah Johnson.
JJ.
Hey, Dan, it's good to see Yadier Molina back in the lineup after the day off last night. Hit by pitch in the last half inning. Had that 2-home-run game on Thursday, hitting .500 in the month of September. When I talked with Ollie Marmol about what he's seen from Yadi this month, he acknowledged there is a sense of urgency. You can tell he knows this is his last run at a playoffs, a championship. He's doing everything possible to make sure this run becomes a reality. And up and down the roster, all throughout the clubhouse, I talked to Tommy Edman, Tyler O'Neill, even Packy Naughton. All of them want to make sure that this season ends the way it should and that the guys like Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina can go out in a winning way in the postseason.
All right, Jeremiah, thank you. That was one of the more famous calls and scenes in Cardinal baseball history from the pandemic season.
I believe it started with the ground ball to short, did it not?
It did. Actually, I think it might have been last year. And we were trying to do the best we could. We were in studio, but it was a ground ball to short, and it went to a concourse shot, and I said, there's a beautiful look at PNC Park. Throw to first, got him. I mean, it was just quick. I only could go off the monitor.
Adapt and adjust.
That's what you have to do in this business.
Adapt and adjust. There it is.
There it is. I mean, anytime you can get that in the middle of play, it's worth it.
It's all about setting the scene. I do love what the guys are talking about with Yadier Molina, these veteran guys, these guys that have tasted the biggest moments of October baseball, trying to finish this thing off right. They're going to be a big push at the end of this season.
Just missed on the outside corner. Yadi's been there. Albert's been there. Waino. And you'd love to see a little bit of a sense of urgency right now from the club, too. Now, you're going to get that in the next road trip, undoubtedly, when you go through San Diego, LA, Milwaukee. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No, I think it's a very good thing. And look, you have an 8-game lead in the division, and we've seen crazy things happen. So it's not to say that the Cardinals are certainly going to win the division. But you still have more to fight for. I mean, who knows? You go out and play some great baseball. Maybe you do catch that bye in the first round. Maybe you get the second best record. You just never know at this point. So there's always something to play for down the stretch. And there's also the idea of, hey, you got to rest guys. You got to keep everybody ready. You just want to be playing your best baseball near the end of it.
And a 3-2 pitch. Low. And a walk to Hayes. Well, the Cardinals, by dropping the last couple of games, it's dropped them to 6.5 games behind the Braves for the second seed. And it's really about 7.5 because of the tiebreaker in the National League postseason and a bye. So
that's tough.
It's very tough. There's Jack Sawinski after the first walk issued by Flaherty. Hitting .201 with the 14 home runs, and he's driven in 25. Pirates were eliminated from postseason contention. The Phillies win on Friday, and that's a deep drive and gone. The second home run hit by the Pirates tonight. No doubter there, number 15 for Sawinski, and it's 3-0 Pittsburgh.
Well, this fastball from Jack Flaherty, it gets in further than the one to Rodolfo Castro, but not in enough, as Sawinski is just able to turn and burn on this one. There is room inside against him, specifically up in the zone, but he does a good job of clearing the hips, getting the barrel to it. Pretty swing right there.
He is second in the National League rookies in terms of home runs. Breaks a tie with Nolan Gorman. His 15th. He's driven in 27 and a 3-0 Pittsburgh lead. There's Michael Chavis batting .238. 14 home runs. Has driven in 45 and a pitch way inside. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch. 3-0. 404 feet off the bat of Sawinski. As Flaherty steps away, falls behind, 3-0. Three and one. It's not only been a lack of offense, which we have easily pointed to, but the Cardinals bullpen last 5 games has been a bit off too, and there's another walk. The bullpen, 20 runs in their last 17 and a third. That's an ERA above 10. That's over the last 5 games, and 3 of those games have been losses.
Well, you look at some of those games, there have been huge innings. Woodford ran into some struggles yesterday, ended up giving up 4 earned runs. James Nail gave up 4 the other day against Washington. Gio had a tough game. Palante had the one where it was a lot of bad luck, but he still ended up giving up 4 earned runs. There's just been those crooked numbers keep popping up.
There's Cal Mitchell. Shift on the right side. He's hit safely in 5 of his last 6, 7 for his last 19. 3 walks and a couple of runs scored.
Cal had a nice night last night. 3 hits and a walk.
And a base hit into right field. Over to cut it off, Brendan Donovan. And that'll be a double. A couple of walks, a homer, and now a double in this inning against Flaherty.
Just misses up at the zone. This is a slider. It just hangs up there, just rolls out of the hand of Jack Flaherty. Easy swing right there by Cal Mitchell.
Not seeing a lot of movement right now with Flaherty's pitches, kind of flat. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. The first time out against the Nationals, we were seeing a lot more depth on his breaking ball. The slider looked tight, and it was a late breaker. More zip on the fastball as well.
And the first pitch at 95, taken for a strike at the top of the zone. 9th place batter, Tyler Heineman. Runners at second and third, infield in. Nobody out. Lined into the glove of Pujols. Takes a hit away and 2 runs as well. And the first out.
Well, Jack needed some help, and he got some right here by Albert. Good play, curveball down and away. Heineman went down and got it.
Here's Cruz, who had a base hit to left field. Infield in. The way this guy hits the ball, I would not want to be an infielder playing in. He's hitting rockets.
Yeah, I think Albert over there at first, he might hear somebody in his ear say, hey, take a few in. He's like, what?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
And he's not quite as in as he'd normally be, too.
No, I'll just stay here.
Don't blame him.
Safety first.
Outfield is straight away. And the 1-0 pitch by Flaherty. Back to Jack, and a play at the plate. The tag and the outs.
Really nice job by Jack to help himself out right here. He pounces off the mound and makes a play.
Off with contact was Chavis, and out at the plate. Derek Shelton says we will not challenge. Thought he might have been able to get his hand in there, but clearly on the replay, no.
A really nice job by Yachty as well. This wasn't the easiest throw. And Chavis just couldn't get that hand around and on the plate.
So runners at the corners now, and you get out of this jam, even though you're down by 3, it's a little bit of a momentum boost because of the way that this was situated. And they will. Pirates with second and third, nobody out. They do not score, with the exception, though, of the 2-run homer hit by Sawinski. 3-0 after 2. 1974, the great Lou Brock breaks Maury Will's single-season stolen base record. 105 for Lou Brock. Cardinals win that night. Lou gets the stolen base. 1974, he had 118 that year at the age of 35.
Baseball's changed.
Oh, to the point of the most stolen bases right now in the league, in the National League, 32. That's John Birdie. Tommy Edman at 27. I mean, it's just a different game. That pitch taken high.
Well, you do have to wonder, Dan, with some of the new rules that we were talking about yesterday that will be implemented next year, larger bases, limited pickoffs, which, you know, we can go round and about on if we like them or not, but they are coming. Do you think that will change some of the stolen bases?
I do think it's going to help. I don't think we're going to see the days of Lou Brock, Ricky Henderson.
Oh, yeah, no more base burglar. I don't think that we're going to see that.
No, but I do think it would entice you to be more aggressive. If you take the top 5 stolen base leaders in the National League today combined, that's lifted in the air down the left field line. Well hit off the bat of Donovan, but the catch is made. You get a total of 128. And it's barely more than what Lou did by himself in 1974. So the game has completely changed. Sawinski with the catch in the corner off the bat of Donovan. And here's Corey Dickerson. He walked and left stranded back in the first inning. Brubaker's allowed 14 home runs. 9 of those 14 have come in the second time through a lineup. We'll see if that is the trend here tonight.
This is a perfect night. We got 70 degrees, nice breeze.
The 1-0 pitch to Dickerson coming up. Slapped the other way, but foul. Pop Warner down there, the third base coach.
Pop was moving right there.
I don't blame him either.
Dropped it like it was hot.
Sure did, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got the moves. Always has.
I think Pop's first year with us was 1999. He was traveling with us and doing just a variety of roles for Tony La Russa. That's ripped down the right field line and fair into the corner. And the Cardinals have their second double of the night. Pujols and now Dickerson.
This is exactly what we were talking about in Dickerson's first at-bat, that he's been doing so well here, especially since the All-Star break, of being able to just take the pitch where it is. I mean, this pitch is up and in. He turns and burns on it down the right field line. The pitch prior, it almost killed Pop Warner, down the way.
Yeah.
Ends up going that way with it. He's recognizing pitches, trusting his hands, and it was good to see him be able to get his hands into that baseball.
And now it's Goldie with a runner at second base. Big gap in left center. And the first pitch, take it for a ball.
How about a little birthday blast, Dan?
22 times in franchise history that has happened where Cardinals players homered on their birthday, and the last by Goldie. Two and 0. Sometimes you just got to treat yourself on your birthday.
I would agree. Gonna need a little help here.
The 2-0. 3-0. And that's in for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. Goldschmidt grounded out to third, first time up. He's hitting .500 coming into play this season in 10 games against Pittsburgh.
I love that rip he took right there, too. That's exactly what you should be doing on a 3-1 pitch. It was a fastball up, just fouled it off.
He's sitting on 35 home runs. And a fly ball to Sawinski in left. Dickerson back to the bag at second. Two away, and a quick word from BOS.
You're moving up in the world. You deserve a bank that can keep up with your changing needs. It's time to make the bold move. BOS. Bank boldly.
There's Arenado, grounded out to short, first time up. Does show you how important Goldie and Arenado have been to this club. When they go cold, offense at times is stagnant. That's been the case here last 3, 4, 5 games. But that's where others have to step up and
for sure
pick them up.
Well, that's been the nice thing too. When you have players like Goldie and Nolan Arenado, you also know that tough times don't last long. I mean, these guys snap out of it pretty quickly.
And a grounder that's hit to Cruz. He'll glove and throw. Makes the play. Cardinals have stranded 4 tonight. Midway through 3-0. Rodolfo Castro with a home run, his 7th of the year to right center back in the first inning. And a 2-run homer hit by Sawinski. 3-0 our score. First pitch in the bottom of the 3rd is taken for a strike.
Well, that first at bat too, the home run that he hit, I like the idea of trying to go in, but the execution just wasn't there. Left the fastball over the middle.
Mike Trout with another home run. He's homered in 6 straight games now. I'm so glad that he's been able to play with the bad back, and it's just good as a baseball fan to watch him play.
Oh, it certainly is. To me, though, it's one of the biggest disappointments in the game of baseball that guy, Shohei Ohtani, they're not going to be there in October.
But they will be in St. Louis next year. Every team will face each other, and the Angels scheduled to be at Busch. The count of 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-2.
A great backdoor breaking ball right there by Jack.
Full count. And a grounder. Diving stop. Pujols from his knee to Flaherty and the out. The 42-year-old Albert Pujols with a double tonight. Now a diving stop.
This smile on his face. Jack got to be smiling too. What a play this is by Albert Pujols. Your All-State Mayhem moment. Albert Pujols getting in the hole right there, making a play. Nice feed to Jack Flaherty. Some quick reactions right there from 5.
I was asking you before the game what it was like being his teammate and the conversations maybe you would have, and that's hit into the shift. Nolan Gorman is there, makes the play, 2 outs. What was it like?
Well, look, he was one of those guys where you just watch him prepare and you say, man, I'd like to be able to do stuff the way that he does. But in talking to him just about the game of baseball and just listening to him talk, he was always on a different level. Like even as a younger player, he always saw things that others did not, and always put in the work that maybe others weren't able to do. And he continues to do it to this day. I mean, that's why he's so good with a lot of the younger guys and the way that they gravitate towards him, and he's always helping them out.
He is due up third for the Cardinals in the top of the 4th. And the 1-0 pitch. And he did go. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pirates have out hit the Cardinals here early on, 4-2, lead 3-0. And tomorrow it's the former Pirate Jose Quintana against Mitch Keller. Off the screen down the right field line. That would be an example of if somebody said, I don't really like the netting. You know, it's not the clearest of views, which it is.
Still pretty good view.
It is that saves somebody right there.
Well, do you like your teeth?
Yeah. I'd been saying it for a long time. I was shocked that we didn't have it.
Well, it's become more and more evident now. Half the people are on their phone. So you're not watching the game maybe like you did years prior.
Good point. And the 2-2 pitch. And guys are hitting the ball harder too. And it's measurable with the StatCast era in play.
It certainly is. And couple that with pitchers are throwing harder. So you're going to see more foul balls like that.
And a walk to Hayes in the 3rd issued by Flaherty. Join us on Tuesday, September 13th. Cardinals and Brewers. That day, 25,000 fans take home a Cardinals decal courtesy of Shelter Insurance. And for tickets or more information, visit cardinals.com/promotions. The following day scheduled will be Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina, projected to break the record with their next start September 14th. Come on down to the ballpark, see a little history. And a strike to Sawinski, who hit a home run following a walk by Hayes in the 2nd.
Yeah, Sawinski got in his first at-bat a slider that was center cut, and he didn't miss it. We saw Jack on that walk to keep Brian Hayes missing, just like he's trying to pull the ball across instead of just letting it work and stay on top of it.
Shift on the right side, fastball in, and it's a count of 1-1.
Well, he made sure to drive that one in there so he didn't leave it over the middle. How can he get him out with something away?
Cardinals 17-6 on Saturdays this year and 8-3 on the road. Remember, was it last year? I guess they struggled in these victory blue uniforms.
Yeah, they thought about changing the name.
Is that right?
Yeah, they were just going to be blue. But now, victory Blues.
Cardinals have won the season series over Pittsburgh 8 straight years and 19 times in the last 22 seasons.
By the way, I can't confirm the name change. I think they were still going to call him Victory.
No, you were telling me you got with the DeWitts and asked him. A base hit into right. And Hayes on his way to third base. And runners at the corners.
Fastball right down the middle to Sawinski. Just a miss. Trying to go up and in.
Well, it's got to be so frustrating right now for Jack Flaherty to try to get back to the level that he was, but there's a lot of bumps along the way.
Yeah, it's maddening. It is. We know what Jack has been through this year and the work that he's put in trying to get back to this point. The velocity's there, but he hasn't had the reps on the season. I mean, really still building up. And these are going to be important games for him down the stretch. They got big decisions to make. There hasn't been much swing and miss with Jack tonight, but you know it's there. Something this team is lacking.
11th multi-hit game for Sawinski, third this month. And he had been 4 for 26 against the Cardinals. Little 2-out rally here in the home half of the third. The walk to Hayes. Sawinski, the base hit to right. Runners at first and third. And the 1-0 pitch by Flaherty. 2 balls and no strikes. He has walked 3 and allowed a pair of home runs. The 2-0. The fly ball into right field. Brendan Donovan will make the catch. O'Neill, Gorman, Pujols coming up. Is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the St. Louis Cardinals. And presented by your friends at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Tyler O'Neill, Nolan Gorman, and Albert Pujols. And it's 3-0 Pittsburgh. Cardinals with 2 hits. And both have been doubles. Pujols in the second inning and Dickerson in the third. Hitless tonight with runners in scoring position. Came in 7 for their last 35.
Well, you got to believe with O'Neill, that's where Brubaker is going to try to get him out as a way. So can he stay on that pitch up the middle, opposite field approach? And again, if anything creeps on the inner half, because Brubaker does have a tendency to miss with that sinker, he can miss in. His hands are so quick. He can turn on that ball, still drive it out of the ballpark to left.
2-1 pitch. 3-1. 9 career home runs against Pittsburgh. Tied for most against any opponent. Chicago at Cincinnati for Tyler O'Neill.
Well, here's your spot right here. You're going to get something. I want him to swing like he's going to need a chiropractor after this one.
Or take the walk.
That'll take it.
And that'll work too. Second walk issued by Brubaker. Don't miss your chance to get discounted Cardinal tickets, 8 or more gallons of gas at a participating station using the MyPhillips 66 app. And you'll get up to 50% off Cardinal tickets. And for more information, visit phillips66gas.com/Cardinals. O'Neill picked up his 12th stolen base of the year last night. And that was with delay as the catcher. Tonight it's Heineman. And Nolan Gorman at the plate. Gorman hit one to the wall in right field. And caught by Mitchell. The 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Albert Pujols on deck. And a high fly ball into shallow center. Backing up the shortstop, Cruz, under it to make the catch. While we have a moment, quick word from Tickets for Less. tickets for less for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout. A double down the left field line, first time up for Albert Pujols. One shy of 696 home runs. And the first pitch, a fastball in for a strike. Albert, the start at first base. Goldie, the designated hitter tonight.
Albert's been doing his best Goldie impersonation over there at first tonight.
A couple of really good defensive plays. 0-2.
That's the pitch right there. If he's going to drive one out of the ballpark, it's going to be one of those backup breaking balls.
And the 0-2 pitch. Got him. A strikeout of Albert Pujols. Third tonight for Brubaker. And the batter is Yadier Molina, who's hit by a pitch back in the second inning, left stranded. Last start for Yadi was Thursday. He tied the all-time battery mate record with Adam Wainwright and also popped a couple of home runs. He's got 2 home runs, 3 doubles, 7 runs batted in his last 6 games. A check on O'Neill. Well, you might want to start him. Try to get something going.
I agree. I mean, you got a guy too in Yadier Molina, handles the bat pretty well. I think you could get him on a move. You could hit and run if you wanted to. Get something moving.
Yadi all time against the Pirates, 842 plate appearances, a .280 average, 54 doubles, 17 home runs. The 1-1. The fly ball off the end of the bat. And caught. Castro ranging to his left. And then going into the netting. Ryan Howard talks about Albert's impact on baseball as well. Skip Schumacher, he's back in St. Louis. He'll be featured on the program, and that's tomorrow, 11:30 on Valley Sports Midwest. Cal Mitchell, Tyler Heineman, and O'Neill Cruz. 8-9-1 against Jack Flaherty. Home half of the fourth, and the first pitch taken inside. The 1-0 pitch. Series will wrap up tomorrow here at PNC Park, which opened up in March of 2001.
We're seeing a lot of arm side miss from Jack here, and then when he really tries to overcorrect, then he pulls across his body, still trying to find that right arm slot, still trying to figure out exactly how to get his hand on top of the ball and repeat that delivery. Timing is everything.
He has issued 3 walks in this game, and that's a strike, and it's 3-1.
Maybe the answer is too taking a little off. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be 95. Just got to be located.
3 balls, 1 strike, and the next to Mitchell. And a ground ball hit to second baseman Nolan Gorman. And the first out, Mitchell 1 for 2 with a double. There's the Pirates catcher, came up with runners at second and third. Nobody out. and lined out to Pujols. And in that spot, the Pirates did not score. It could be worse than just the 3-0 deficit.
Yeah, keep it here. Keep it close. A couple of well-located pitches there, too, to Cal Mitchell to get right back into that count after starting him 3-0.
Center field and left field fairly shallow for the 9th place batter. One ball and one strike.
That's that good slider right there late. Only the 4th swing and miss right now in this ball game for Jack Flaherty, and that's what we're talking about with Jack. The added element that he brings when he's right is he misses a lot of bats, and the staff could use that.
Here's a 1-1. Popped up and out of play.
When you're looking at the Cardinals overall with their pitching staff, so this includes starters and relievers, opponents have a miss rate of only 22%. That's the lowest in Major League Baseball. So come October, it's great to have a great defense. Love to have a great defense. It's nice to not need them as much if you can have somebody that's going to miss some bats for you.
And he would be the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he profiles that way, and certainly I think that you've seen the addition of Montgomery helps. I mean, he gets some whiff for sure.
You think about how the game is played in 2022. It's power, home runs, strikeouts. You got to have them.
Yeah, for sure you do. But you also, I mean, in Jack's case, with all the time that he's missed this year, he's really going to have to do something special down the stretch to be a part of that, you know, especially if they're set up the way that they are in a wild card series. I mean, you would think it's going to be Waino, Montgomery, Michaelis in whatever order. Doesn't mean there's not a spot where Jack can contribute, certainly.
And a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. So they got the knee and they got pitch com as well. So it's 1-2. So he got a piece of that. Also, it took off.
It blew a strap off.
Yeah. Line and a base hit. Over to get it, Brendan Donovan. They'll test him and to throw into second base in time. Goodbye. So the base hit for Heineman and the outfield assist for Brendan Donovan.
Swiss Army knife, put him anywhere. He's played all over the diamond and he's played there well. Heineman goes down and gets a breaking ball. It's actually a pretty good pitch by Jack. Goes down and gets it. And Donovan goes and gets it, makes a nice throw in. Perfect.
So 2 away, O'Neal Cruz. A single to left. And then with runners at second and third, hit a high chopper back to Flaherty and got the runner trying to score at the plate. And the first pitch taken for a ball. The next inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes, and that was pitch number 69. The shift on the right side, 2-0 pitch. In for strike, and it's 2-1. The 2-1. Now 2-2. Flaherty trying to send us to the 5th, and time was called by Yachty. How would you assess Jack here tonight?
Well, I think erratic. He just hasn't been able to repeat his delivery as much. Still, it's a couple of long balls that have hurt him.
Command just isn't there.
Yeah, you just love to be able to see him repeat that delivery and have the ball come out the same way. And I'm sure he's going through the same thing right now. He's trying to figure out just ways to make it work right now.
And the 3-2 pitch. Missed on the outside corner. So the 4th walk issued by Flaherty, coming with 2 outs here in the 4th. The batter is Brian Reynolds, who's grounded into a double play and also flied to center.
Yeah, Jack in his 2 starts so far, he just has not had the opportunity to just go on a roll. He hasn't had a 1-2-3 inning yet. Last start against the Nationals didn't happen, hasn't happened here.
O'Neill Cruz, 6 stolen bases. He's at first. And the first pitch to Reynolds. Taken low. Yeah, Craig Berube and Ozzie, Lee Trevino. Bunch of legends at the Ascension Charity Classic today in Norwood Hills. Congratulations to Nick Ragone and Steve Spratt, the folks at Ascension. Great event that they put on this weekend. Check swing and did not go. Nancy Lopez. Hale Irwin was there. Ryan O'Reilly. The list goes on and on.
Some big names playing golf in town.
No doubt.
Well, great for the city, certainly.
The 2-0 pitch to Reynolds. 2-1. The Pirates got a solo home run in the first by Castro, 2-run homer by Sawinski in the second. And Jack basically has been working from the stretch all night long. A lot of traffic. 2-1 pitch. Grounder, fair. Albert steps on the bag and the out. And the Pirates have left 5 on. We move to the 5th. DeYoung, Donovan, Dickerson coming up. The newest pro sports team in town, STL City SC. And that'll be Saturday, September 17th, Cardinals and Reds. It's a week from tonight. Ages 16 and older take home a Cardinals soccer jersey presented by Wells Fargo Advisors. Cardinals.com to get those tickets as DeYoung lines it into center, and it's caught. Reynolds a sliding catch in the first out here in the top of 5.
Give the guy a break.
No kidding.
Needed that one.
It's a tough league. You don't get many breaks. People don't feel sorry for you. And as the great Tony La Russa would say, you either do or you don't.
That's it. There is no try.
Nope. And the top of the lineup, and Brendan Donovan struck out on 3 pitches looking in the first and hit one deep into the left field corner, but that was caught by Sawinski. The pitch inside, and it's a ball and a strike. The Cardinals right now, it's a team that feels and looks flat. 2 hits, just not a lot of a sense of urgency, but that'll help. A drive into deep right field and gone. It's a home run. Brendan Donovan, 4th home run, and St. Louis gets on the board. They needed that. The worst of ways. The Cardinals get their 3rd hit. It's a home run by Brendan Donovan to make it 3-1.
For the best coverage in the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage. Cam, it was in his first at-bat. He got caught looking with that sinker in, not this time. Brendan Donovan is ready for it. Gives it a ride for his 4th of the year.
He's driven in 39, and the Cardinals get their first run. There's Corey Dickerson with a double. into the right field corner, extending his hitting streak to 5 games last time up. He's 7 for his last 17. So Donovan with his 4th outfield assist of the year and now a home run. .390 feet, 102 off the bat. No balls and 2 strikes on Corey Dickerson. Did not go, and it's 1-2. Maybe that's something that gets this team going now. 3rd time through. I would imagine that the Pirates would not, if they sense anything going the wrong way, they're not going to let Brubaker stay out there very long.
No, I wouldn't think so. I think you'd get that bullpen shaken as quickly as possible.
And a pitch taken inside. Brubaker made his debut in the 2020 season. That was against the Cardinals at Busch Stadium, and then 2 years later he was their opening day starter, and that was at Busch Stadium against St. Louis.
They've had a lot of opening day starters.
Liriano, Cole, Nova, Tyone, Musgrove, Cool last year, Brubaker this year, so they've had 7 different opening day starters the last 7 seasons.
Pretty good names on that list.
Guys you'd like to keep. Against the shift and a base hit, Corey Dickerson. His 2nd hit tonight. And the tying run will come to the plate in Paul Goldschmidt. Brubaker was asked before the season about Albert Yachty, Waino final go around for 2 of the 3, and he said, I think it's awesome. I was still in high school when all 3 of those guys were playing together. He said, not to date them by any means, but I grew up watching them play together. Fun to watch, and to get that start on opening day against them is meaningful. Pretty cool.
Of course it is.
Third time through a lineup. The average against Brubaker is .282, 8 doubles, 3 home runs.
Well, adding to that, the 3rd time around the lineup against the starter, Paul Goldschmidt's hitting .442.
Yeah.
You give that guy 3 looks at somebody. Not that you have to look very hard to find a good stat about Goldie.
The short lead at first by Dickerson. And the 1-1. Softly hit. And Hayes will go across the diamond and gets the out at first, advancing Dickerson into scoring position for Nolan Arenado. Twice he has grounded out to short.
It's a really good sequence. Last time up, Brubaker's approaching against Nolan Arenado, threw him the sinker in well off the plate, moved his feet, and then got him to reach on a slider away to hit that ground ball to short. That's how you have to approach him. You have to be able to bust him in.
The Cardinals 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Fastball and a strike. Arenado led Major League Baseball with 29 runs batted in August. He had 9 home runs, 21 extra base hits, but has cooled off a bit here in September. He'd love to change that. The 0-1. And Arenado sends one out to right field. Mitchell there to make the catch. Cardinals strand their 6th runner. Hitless tonight with runners in scoring position. Midway through 5. Brendan Donovan gets St. Louis on the board. 4th home run of the year, and it's 3-1. Of 3-1. Home half of the 5th rolls in. It's Castro, Gamble, and Hayes. The first pitch and out into the glove of Nolan Arenado. Jeremiah Johnson, what do you got for us?
Tonight in Double-A Springfield, Steven Matz made his second rehab appearance. 1 walk, 3 hits, 2 runs allowed, 35 pitches. The goal was around 30 pitches. They wanted to see him get 2 innings, though a little more active in that first inning. I talked to Ollie Marmol before tonight's game. He did say he wanted to see hopefully more strikes today than he had on Tuesday. And Tuesday, he had 15 of 30 pitches for strikes. Tonight, 23 of 35. Brad, my question for you, how do you monitor Matz's situation and potential availability later this month?
Yeah, for me, Jeremiah, it's great news that he's out there and he's going to be an option down the stretch. It's just consistently, is he going to be able to pump strikes, and is he healthy? Like, that's the biggest thing. This guy, I don't care what his numbers look like at AAA. That matters to me not at all. Is he healthy? Does the knee feel good? Can he finish over it? I mean, just how is he feeling? That's the biggest key, but he's going to be a factor. Get an arm like that will play up, Dan, out of the bullpen. The velocity's there anyhow. So you think about that, as a potential weapon. You got to be excited about it.
Sure. Another arm, another guy that you can count on. Here's Ben Gamel, who is 0 for 2, lined into the shift and also grounded out. 2-2. And a fly ball out to left. Corey Dickerson under it to make the catch. So Flaherty, the pitch count now at 84. And the Cardinals have talked about, even in his last start, no restrictions on pitch count, just more of the eye test of seeing how he looks, and situation would dictate how long he stays into a game.
Yeah, certainly. You'd love to see him get Brian Hayes here. He's walked him twice so far. Be aggressive. Go after him. Looking for his first 1, 2, 3 inning since he's been back.
And Hayes pops it foul and out of play.
Seen him utilize that cutter a bit more this inning, too. Just a tighter break to it.
And the 0-1 pitch. From a pitching perspective, you know this, Brad, in the game of baseball, sometimes it just takes one pitch, one at bat. You say, oh, that's how it's supposed to feel.
That felt right.
Yeah. And then you're back to where you were.
Certainly. On the flip side, there are other times when you feel like you're doing everything right. Then you go look at it and you say, who is that guy?
Exactly. Taken there by DeYoung, and Flaherty has a 1-2-3 inning. We move to the 6th inning. And Albert is coming up. He's due up third, 3-1. Presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. Not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. So Brubaker now into the 6th inning. 3-1 our score in favor of the Pirates. Tyler O'Neill has struck out and walked, and new pitch count out to the right leg there of Tyler Heineman.
The first one must have busted.
Base hit into left center.
That's the swing. That's it right there for Tyler O'Neill. If he can stay on that slider away, he could be in great shape. I love seeing that.
Nolan Gorman softly to Cruz, and he makes the play. O'Neill advancing to third, and it brings in Albert. Albert Pujols with a double tonight and also struck out swinging. Albert down the left field line. Stay fair. It is gone. Home run number 696. He's tied the game, and he's now tied for 4th place on the all-time home run list in Major League history. 696 home runs. Albert Pujols, A-Rod, 696 home runs. 4th all-time in the history of Major League Baseball.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Jumped all over a hanging slider.
The fans want a curtain call, and Yadi's making sure he may get one. And Albert kind of wagged his finger at Yadi and said, no, no, no. And Yadi pointed the bat in the dugout. Out to shallow right center. And the catch made by Brian Reynolds. 696 off the bat of Albert Pujols down the left field line. Nope, no curtain call on the road for Albert. At least not yet.
Oh, he just did a round trip. He doesn't want to do stairs again. I get that. Look at that swing. And that got out of the ballpark in a hurry.
Sure did.
The prior half inning during the break, you turned to me and said he's going to get one today. And he gets one. He got a backup slider and jumped it.
I loved his first at bat. And, you know,
stayed on that breaking ball.
Exactly. Home run number 696 off a pitcher number 452.
Well, it's amazing how quickly things can shift. We were talking about how flat it felt when you're not scoring any runs, when you don't have any offense, you're going to be flat. Well, now offense, they're striking.
It's sharply but backhanded by Castro in the shift, and the throw in time to get Paul DeYoung. Historic moment in Major League Baseball tonight. He's now 4th all time in home runs in the history of the game. Can he get to 700? Number 696, tied with A-Rod, 4th all time in the history of baseball. Amazing. Bonds, Aaron, Ruth, and Albert and A-Rod tied. His next, he'll be all alone, 4th place, the all-time home run list.
Talked about this a little bit yesterday, Dan, when it comes to Albert Pujols and the home runs. Oftentimes they come in bunches. I mean, this is a guy that can get hot and do so quickly. We've seen that especially since the All-Star break. He went on a tear. Let's do it again.
I asked John Mozeliak the other day during the homestand, I said, what do you put your finger on, you know, with Albert, what's going on here? Can you pinpoint a moment, something that's happened with him, or just the understanding of the finality of his career and going for history? And he said, I really believe the All-Star break and the All-Star game and so much of the attention that was on him, home run derby, the game, the celebration really of his career, gave him a jolt. And we've seen it since the All-Star break. He's been a different player.
No, he certainly has. And during the home run derby, it was so cool to see the ovation for him. And I enjoy everywhere we go watching the opposition, all of the other players swarm to that guy. We saw it when he hit his first double at second base. You saw Castro right there to greet him, smiling and laughing with him. Everybody wants to spend some time with that guy. And the respect and the admiration this league, the players, the fans, everybody has for him, it's something special.
So Palante in for Jack Flaherty. And a base hit for Sawinski the other way. He's had a big night, 3 for 3 with a home run and a pair of singles.
Well, he showed the ability to drive a pitch on the inner half out of the ballpark. Did that. Had another fastball in and now goes the other way. And there's the home run ball, number 696.
So do you keep it or do you ask, hey, will Albert sign me a couple of bats or maybe a jersey?
Oh, you definitely give it back.
I think you do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure my son and daughter, we can just kind of get away from the spot on
I know we've talked about it a lot, but we saw Albert in the clubhouse today, and he came up to us and just said, hey guys, how's it going? How you doing? And a big smile on his face. I mean, he is just so happy, I think, to be back in St. Louis. Obviously what he's doing, he's part of a winning team. It just, everything is seemed like a perfect ending to his career.
No, I think you nailed it. Perfect storm. It's exactly what it is right now for everybody involved.
A swing and a miss by Chavis. And maybe that's the jolt that gets this team going too. Talked about them needing something, and I will always go back this year and look at that game in Toronto, the second game against the Blue Jays, and he put on a show.
And you needed him there.
And they did. Goldie was out, Arenado was out, and he stepped up big when they needed him the most. And Waino did too that night. The 0-2 pitch by Palante. The ground ball, charging Arenado, and he will get the lead man. It's another aspect of Nolan Arenado. There are not many third basemen that take that chance. They're going to get the sure out at first.
Yeah, you very rarely see it, and you know this. I mean, you know that he's got a great arm. He trusts his instincts, and he also trusts in his pitching staff. He's talked about that before. If I take the shot and it doesn't work, I believe that guy's going to go make a pitch for me again so I can do it. That's bang, bang.
And now Cal Mitchell, who is 1 for 2. Runner at first is Chavis. Shift on the right side. JoJo Romero getting loose in the St. Louis pen. Albert's 17th home run this year. I never thought he'd even get close to that this year. I thought 5 to 10, great. Have some wonderful moments at the ballpark. I mean, he is a factor now.
Yes, he is. That's a guy you do not want to see up in a spot if you're the opposition.
He started the runner, Chavis, and then he went back to the bag at first.
You can already picture it, can't you? Big spot in October.
Oh, yeah.
Albert coming to the plate.
Not many times does he disappoint. The 2-0 pitch by Palante is outside, and it's 3-0. Last couple of outings, Palante, just a couple of base hits that found holes, and it turned into a bigger inning than, seeing guys hitting rockets all over the place against him. It's not like he's pitched poorly, but the numbers don't show or bear out how well he's pitched.
Yeah, certainly. 2 outings ago against the Nationals where he ended up giving up 4. There was 1 ball hit hard. The rest of them were ground balls, a ground ball that he'd love to get in a spot like this. He gets a lot of them versus lefties.
And it's now 3-1.
Throw that same pitch again, you're going to get Cal Mitchell to roll over it and get your double play.
The exit velocity on the home run hit by Pujols 111.2, and it went 418 feet. And a 3-1 pitch. Missed in and a walk. So runners at first and second. And while we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
As the sun comes up on a crisp new morning, you're busy eyeing your next move. When you're ready to take on your next challenge, we'll be right there with you. Great support, Great Southern Bank.
First and second with one down, Tyler Heineman. He lined out to Pujols with runners at second and third and nobody out in the second, and also a base hit to right, and then tried to extend that to a double. Was thrown out by Donovan and pushes that foul. You don't think these players are feeding off what Albert's doing too?
Of course they are.
I mean, they're loving it. They're at the top step there of the dugout, banging on the rail.
They have props now.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Newt had a literal pepper grinder.
Yeah. He was ready for it too.
Of course he was.
You got to be quick with the ball that got out that fast.
Oh, when that guy's up, you know something might be coming.
Yep. I love it. And the 0-2 pitch by Palante. Broken bat. Softly hit near the first base coach, Tarek Brock. Third base is Mike Ribello. And a broken bat. Reminder, the Cardinals face the Reds Sunday, September 18th. 12,000 kids ages 15 and younger entering with a ticket go home with their very own stadium exclusive Build-A-Bear Workshop Bear. And for tickets, more information, visit cardinals.com/promotions. Good seats still remaining for Tuesday and again Wednesday, the record-setting night with Wainwright and Molina. Come see it for yourself in person. You will not be disappointed. I can tell you that.
Well, anytime those two guys go out there, it's special anyhow. But this one's going to have a different feel for it. You will get a chance to see something that has never been done before in the game of baseball. Well worth coming out to the ballpark.
And an 0-2 pitch. Well, I'd love to know what was said to Albert by Yachty in that long embrace going into the dugout. Obviously, I'm sure a very personal message sent to Albert, but that was meaningful to see those two together like that.
It really was. Yeah, I mean, you know how much those two love each other. They're brothers. They care for one another, pull for one another.
.33 home runs he's hit at this ballpark. And a double play ball. The Young steps on the bag and the Cardinals get two. There's that ground ball off a left-hander's bat that you talked about. And a double play. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. And presented by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Man, am I going to miss that swing. I'm being honest, I'm going to miss it.
Of course.
Oh, man.
It's iconic. The swing, the first couple of steps afterwards, that look on his face. Still got a lot more memories to make, though.
Dwayne Underwood Jr. And he'll have the seventh inning. Brubaker gives them 6 and allows a pair of home runs. Brendan Donovan in the 5th and the 2-run homer by Pujols in the 6th. Donovan is 1 for 3. And the first pitch is strike. The 0-1. In baseball, it is always hard to rise to the occasion. The Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. But I mean to tell you, man, more times than not, Albert does. Still.
You talked about the pressure earlier that is there as you approach a unreal number.
Cruz shows off the arm. He's going to be some kind of player, man.
He is good. He is very good. He got an incredible arm. We're talking about that pressure that is there. Albert's operated under pressure his entire career. When you come up, you have the rookie season that he did. The expectations have always been there for him to do great things. And whatever the outside expectations are, I promise you this, Albert's expectations for himself are even higher. Like, he believes that he's going to get it done. You don't have the success that that man has had throughout his career if you don't believe in your heart that any moment you're going to get the job done. And he does it.
Yeah.
That's the key.
I've asked you where you were when Yachty hit that home run in 06 against the Mets. What about the 05 home run against Brad Lidge?
Oh my gosh, that was one of the coolest things ever.
I told you and I have really talked about this that much.
I've told you before, and you know, like how loud that place was. Like you couldn't hear, you couldn't have a conversation.
So quiet.
Well, especially in the bullpen. The bullpen's all concrete in there. I mean, the sound just reverberates off the walls. You can't hear anything. The bullpen phone has an actual horn attached to it, and you still had to sit next to the horn to hear it because it was so loud there. Albert hit that, you could hear everything. You could hear our dugout going crazy. It almost felt like you could hear Albert running. Like, that's just like how quiet that entire place got. And just, I mean, that with that swing of the bat, and I know everyone else that was watching felt like that. It was, the first thought was, we're going to win the World Series.
Yeah.
Like, that happens. Obviously, Roy Oswald had different plans as it headed back to St. Louis, but that was just such an iconic, memorable moment. And again, to your point, rising to the occasion.
Yep. I wonder if there is going to be just one moment you think of with Albert, like that one iconic moment. Maybe that's it. But there's been so many.
I don't think you could pick one.
And maybe another to come. Dickerson puts it into play. And Chavis steps on the bag for the out. I mean, can you imagine 700 at home at Busch Stadium?
Yeah, I can.
It's a legitimate shot now. You're four away.
Who knows? Could end up being against these same Buccos, too.
Yeah, right here.
Last 6 games of the season are against the Pirates. 3 in St. Louis, 3 back here to end the regular season.
And now it's Goldie with 2 outs and nobody on. He is hitless tonight, 0 for 3.
Tell you what, if Albert is sitting on 698, 699, heck, even 697 come the end of the season, this place is going to be red.
Yeah. And the 0-1. And part of that, too, would be if the Cardinals have clinched at that point, then if you're Ollie, you're saying, yeah, we're going to let him go for sure, get that shot at history.
Yeah, who cares what the matchup is? Go.
Right.
If you tell me you're good to go today, if you want in, you're in.
And the 1-1. Goldschmidt with a drive into deep rights and caught on the track. Mitchell there to make that play. Time to stretch on this Saturday night. Historic night at PNC Park. On tap, Jose Quintana, the lefty going for St. Louis. 5-6 against Mitch Keller, 5-10. Pirates and the Cardinals. Budweiser, what's on tap? Our coverage begins at noon, and who knows? Albert in the lineup. If he doesn't get another one tonight, maybe moves into fourth place all-time by himself of the home run list of Major League Baseball.
Certainly can happen quick with that man at the plate. Jojo Romero in your Chevy call to the bullpen for his 9th game of the season. Surrendered his first run as a Cardinal last time out on Wednesday against the Nationals, but he has been solid. This is a guy, he goes out there, he's aggressive. That's what I like about JoJo. He just fills up the strike zone. He's got that fastball that's up there in the upper 90s, good breaking ball. His changeup, very effective to the right-handers.
Flaherty went 5 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, did not strike out a man, walked 4, gave up a pair of home runs. And the first pitch to O'Neal Cruz, top of the lineup for the Pirates, is strike.
I'd like to see that same slider now located away.
Palante had the 6th. He went an inning, gave up a hit, walked a man, and no damage done.
We're talking about some of the crooked numbers that have been put up against the Cardinals bullpen. This is where they really need to solidify things. The bats got you back into it. A couple of big home runs. Obviously 696 from Albert being the biggest one. Got to keep it here now.
And the 1-1 is hit a ton. Deep right and gone. O'Neal Cruz with home run number 14, his 2nd hit tonight. He's on base for the 3rd time and puts the Pirates back on top. Lefties had been 1 for 6 with 4 strikeouts against Romero as a Cardinal coming in.
Yeah, so much for keeping it right here. The slider, it's down and in really, and catches way too much of the plate. Talked about it after the first pitch. Ended up catching O'Neal Cruz looking on the first slider. Started at him, caught the corner. You can tell he buckled, but to a power hitting lefty, you got to make sure that breaking ball stays away from him. That one catches way too much of the plate, and here we go. Cardinals looking at a deficit.
Cardinals have allowed 3 home runs tonight and a strike to Ryan Reynolds. Grounded into a double play, fly to center, and also grounded out.
Well, Dan, in typical 2022 baseball fashion, all 7 runs have scored via the long ball.
Yeah. Cardinals with home run from Albert, another one from Donovan, a solo shot. So for Cruz, that was 103 off the bat, 380 feet. Swing and a miss, and 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a pitch in. And a 3-2 pitch to Reynolds. Got a strikeout. It's another guy that right now has some swing and miss stuff out of the pen, and that is Romero. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And that pitch that we were just talking about, that changeup, is a big part of it. That's why he's dangerous against righties as well.
Rodolfo Castro with a high fly ball that turned into a home run. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. That is the first strikeout for Cardinals pitchers here tonight. That's popped foul down the right field line, out of play.
Well, it just tells you exactly how off maybe Jack was in this one, because that's just not his game. He's a guy that'll rack up the strikeouts. Doesn't have to be 10 strikeouts a game or anything, but generally has more swing and miss to him. But still kept you in the ball game even without it.
And the 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2. The Cardinals in the 8th inning will have Arenado, O'Neill, and Gorman. If anybody could reach, then it's Albert Pujols.
A little bit different than yesterday, though, Dan, as the Cardinals punched out 11 Buccos.
Yeah. And the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball left side, taken by Arenado. Nope. His 11th error of the year. Rare miscue by Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, you don't see this often at all. I wonder if it ends up catching the lip or it just catches him in between hops. Why don't you go ahead and get him another one? He'll turn it for you.
No doubt. This will be Kevin Newman pinch hitting for Gamble. The emergence of O'Neill Cruz really cut into Newman's time.
Yes, it did. I think Newman's a good player, too.
Yep, solid. And Newman hitting .368 against the lefties, 7 doubles. Cardinals have turned a pair of double plays tonight. And the 1-0 is off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Double play ball. The turn and got him. Nice turn by Nolan Gorman. We talked about it earlier. His throws from the bag started by DeYoung. 4-3. Maker and the work of our buddy Keith O'Brien, always digging into some of the numbers, and this is great. Goldie, Arenado, Edman, Carlson, Gorman combined have 695 home runs. And then one guy has 696, and that's number 5.
No big deal. No big deal. There's a reason, too. When that guy speaks, everybody listens. You watch how he goes about his business. You try to pick up what you can. This guy has done everything there is to do in the game of baseball, and he just keeps adding to that resume.
That's incredible.
It is.
That's a guy that's got, on that list, over 300. Another guy that's maybe headed to the Hall of Fame, closing in on 300. Amazing. And Albert just into the iPad and continues to study. He's got a double and a home run tonight. There's Nolan Arenado hitless. He is twice grounded out to short, fly to right, 0 for 3. And time called. The new pitcher, Robert Stevenson. We saw him last night. The first pitch, fastball and a strike. And the 0-1. Arenado hits it down the right field line and foul, 0-2. Finding himself in a lot of 2 strike counts here recently.
Yeah, fouling some pitches off, and A lot of these pitches on the outer half, you look at all the damage that he has done. He's hit some doubles the other way. All 28 of his home runs have been pull side. And you're thinking, well, he's not going to be able to pull that outside pitch. He does. I mean, he covers that pitch really well. Right now, just fouling some of them off, just a hair off of his ideal swing.
In the 0-2 pitch to Arenado. Put in play and back to Stevenson for the out. And the first out here in the 8th. The batter will be Tyler O'Neill. Be at Busch Stadium when history is made. Waino and Yachty. That'll be Wednesday, September 14th. Cardinals and Brewers. And the 325th start as a battery, making them #1 all-time in the history of baseball. 30,000 fans receive a commemorative rally towel courtesy of JF Electric and tickets at Cardinals.com. O'Neill 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts head-to-head against Stevenson. Fastball misses. Tyler tonight called out on strikes back in the 2nd, walked, left stranded in the 4th, and a double, then scored on the home run hit by Pujols.
Really like what we saw on the double from O'Neill too. It was a slider down the way, went down and got it.
Stevenson has made 4 appearances with the Pirates. 4 innings, 3 hits, couple of runs, has allowed a home run. Underwood had a scoreless 7th inning. The 1-1. In for a strike. One and 2 the count. And a swing and a miss, a strikeout of O'Neill. And the first 2. Stevenson's been able to get him here in this 8th inning.
Well, Stevenson's showing off some good stuff. Spotted 97 and then drops off this slider. Your Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks. And a good one. Look, if I've learned anything from this game today, it's going to be the long ball that ends up deciding it.
Yeah.
Who ends up making the next mistake? Hopefully it's Stevenson right here to Gorman.
Brubaker gave up a pair of homers. Flaherty gave up 2. Romero's given up 1. And now Nolan Gorman. He is due. And time is called. Pujols on deck.
Well, Gorman right now 3 for his last 26. I mean, he's just going through the tough times. You know this, and we've talked about it a lot with Nolan Gorman. Any young player, there's going to be ebbs and flows. I mean, you know what you're going to get, the power potential there when he is striking the ball. He does so with authority, but you just love to see more frequency with it.
The Pirates, when they lead after 7, they are 43-6 this year. Cardinals would love to change that, and they've shown a propensity to come back in games in the second half of the season. And the first pitch. Gorman, base hit. Thinking 2 on his way to second, puts himself in scoring position with a double. So Nolan Gorman with his 13th double, and in steps Albert. Take a look at our Budweiser play of the game. And for Albert Pujols, home run number 696 to tie him with Alex Rodriguez, 4th all time. The fans on their feet behind the Cardinal dugout. And the first pitch. Popped up left side, and a healthy cut, to say the least, from Albert Pujols.
He is feeling it right now, and I love it.
we've been around him for so long and have seen it for so long. You can tell when the swings are there. And tonight it's been different. And there's other times he's looked like, okay, he's a little bit overmatched. And the Cardinals now will pinch run Tommy Edman. Certainly, if you tie or take the lead, Edman would be at second base regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you bring in two things. You bring in a little bit more speed at second base, and then your best middle with DeYoung and Edman.
And the 0-1 pitch to Albert Pujols. And he pops it up near the screen. Heineman is there and out of room. 2 rows deep. And another healthy cut, to say the least, from Albert. Albert Pujols has 64 multi-home run games in his career, 5th most all-time. Big Mac is 4th on that list with 67. And an 0-2 pitch to Albert Pujols. Albert hits it up the middle. Base hit! He's tied the game! He's unreal, man. He's unbelievable. He's 42. This is not supposed to be happening. Albert Pujols, a triple away from the cycle, drives in Tommy Edman. He's driven in 3 tonight. 4-4.
That's a bad man right there. 97-mile-an-hour fastball up above the zone, and all he does is drive it right back up the box. That right there, that's winning baseball. That's not Albert Pujols trying to get to 700 in that spot. He had 2 strikes on him. He tried to put it in play, shot it right back up the middle. That's a fantastic job.
There's Yadier Molina. 246 3-hit games for Albert Pujols. And that is DeLuzio, the pinch runner. Cardinal fans making noise. DeLuzio running, and a throw down to second. He is out off the bag. If it's 50-50, I think you challenge late in the game, but apparently the Cardinals.
St. Louis is challenging the outcall at second base.
Yeah. He's safe there. And I think right there maybe, but is it tough? I don't know.
And that is really tough to tell. As we've talked about plenty of times, New York, they've got different angles there. The hand is in initially. The question is, does he get the right hand?
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is out. St. Louis loses the challenge.
Albert is tied at 4-4. With his historic home run, number 696, to tie him with Alex Rodriguez, 4th all-time in baseball history. Flaherty went 5, Brubaker 6. Sawinski has a big night, 3 for 3. The versatility of Brendan Donovan coming into play again. More on that in a moment. Our Chevy call to the pen. It's Giovanni Gallegos.
Well, you and I were just talking about it during the break. This is a game you have to win. I mean, you come back from this one. Albert hits a home run. He hits the single, ties you up. You got Giovanni Gallegos in this ball game. He's looking to bounce back from a rough one Wednesday against the Nationals where he gave up 3. I mean, you got the momentum back in this game. Keep it.
So Donovan is at first. Dickerson will move from left to right. DeLuzio stays in the game at center. And Tyler O'Neill going from center to left. And Tommy Edman stays in the game after scoring the run. Pinch running in the top half of this inning for Nolan Gorman, who doubled. Those are the changes. And the umpire is calling out someone from the medical team of the Cardinals. Remember, it was Gallegos in a game against the White Sox when they started, doing the spider tack testing and all that stuff with Joe West. I would assume you would not prefer that to happen right before he throws his first pitch.
No, I'm so glad we could get this cleared up.
So Gallegos on the mound to face Ke'Bryan Hayes, who has walked twice. And the first pitch is strike. Gallegos, his 50th appearance. He pitched 3 days ago against the Nationals. 3rd of an inning, 3 hits. Gave up a home run. Well, now that we do know that the pitch clock will be instituted next year, there's a study done within the last 48 hours, and the slowest between pitches in baseball is Giovanni Gallegos. So he's going to have to change that going into next year.
Yeah, not sure you needed the study to know that one. He's a deliberate worker for sure, and it really works for him. And maybe that's kind of part of the success, where he might almost lull you to sleep with some of them. But you're going to have to adapt. I believe that Gio will absolutely be able to do it. It'll be a change for him, but should be fine.
And a pitch in the dirt. And a count of 1-2. Cardinals in the 9th inning will have Molina, DeYoung, and Donovan. On the bench, left for St. Louis, Burleson, Nootbaar, and Kisner. And the 1-2. Ke'Bryan Hayes with a fly ball out to center. DeLuzio going back and with room to make the catch. The disappointing part about that play with DeLuzio is he had the bag stolen. He was on the bag.
Yeah, the left hand was certainly in there for him, and then tried to switch. You'd love to see him be able to get that left in and just hook it, hold on to that, and let his body go around. Easier said than done.
Giovanni Gallegos, 4 appearances against the Pirates this year. And with that out, it's now 5 innings, and he's allowed just 1 hit and struck out 8. 3 infielders on the right side, and a ball to Sawinski. And a 2-run homer hit to right field in the 2nd. A base hit to right in the 3rd, and a single against Andre Palmante in the 6th inning. Flaherty, Palmante, Romero, and now Gallegos. And the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball left field. Tyler O'Neill near the line. Foul territory with the catch. Jeremiah, what do you got on Albert?
Well, it was a simple quote from Tommy Edman earlier this week that stuck out to me. He said, "I'm going to remember this season forever," probably speaking for fans, players, and broadcasters. So I asked him about that before tonight's game, mentioning Yadi and Albert, saying playing with a few legends on this team, to have a chance to play with those guys is something special. Then he added Waino and Goldie, and Arenado, the incredible wealth of knowledge to learn from. You know Tommy Edman is one of those guys that is learning from the vets and also enjoying this experience.
Well, it wasn't lost on me. Back to Gallegos off the bat of Chavis, but the guys at the top step with that home run, all the young players, so excited to be a part of this. We all are. It's been fun. 4-4 as we head to the ninth. It is. Will Crow, 54 games this season. He's picked up from the Nationals for Josh Bell a couple of years ago. And then they thought he might be a starter, but they've been using him in the back end of their games.
Well, he's been, his role, you've seen it increase since Bednar's been out as well. And Crow's a guy, he's got good stuff. He's going to run that fastball up there mid-90s, got a slider curve change. Cardinals looking to keep this momentum they got back in this game.
Redbirds have stranded 6 on the night. They have 8 hits, 4 runs. We're tied 4-4. By the way, this is Pujols' 220th game with 3 or more runs batted in. He passes Jimmy Fox for 3rd all time. 220 games. Hank Aaron at 232. Babe Ruth 278. First pitch to Yachty. And Yachty hits it down the right field line, out of play. He was hit by a pitch in the second, popped out to second, and fly to center. And the next. Eight hits aside in this game, 4-4. 1 error committed, and that was by the Cardinals. And the 1-1 pitch. Molina up the middle, base hit. Leadoff single, Yadier Molina. If you're thinking about pinch running, you'd probably do it if he gets into scoring position.
Yeah, I would wait. This one, it's a pretty good pitch here by Will Crow, too. Down and away, slider, just out of the reach of 2 defenders. They're going to run for him here.
It'll be Newpark. Crow making his 55th appearance. Last pitched 4 days ago against the Mets. Newt your runner at first base. And DeYoung looks at a ball. 1-1-5 to the plate, so it's pretty good.
It's very quick.
And the 1-0 pitch to Paul DeYoung. And DeYoung hits it foul. I think the at-bats have been better tonight by DeYoung. Now, grounded out with 2 runners on in the second, but he lined out with a sliding catch made by Reynolds in the 5th, and then hit a ball hard into a shift in the 6th. Better, but again, it's results.
For sure it is. Maybe gets one right here. Big knock.
And the 1-1 pitch to Paul DeYoung. Up and in. It was Brubaker, Underwood, Stevenson, and now Crow here in the 9th. A 2-1 pitch. 2-2 on DeYoung. Brendan Donovan on deck.
Be interesting to see which way Crow goes here. Does he elevate with the fastball again, get him to swing through it, or go with the slider down and away?
And a 2-2 pitch to the Cardinals shortstop. So the Cardinals now with Burleson and Kisner available off their bench. Kisner will have to go in and catch in the ninth, the bottom half. DeYoung against Crow, 2 for 5 with a double and a walk. The 2-2 pitch. And DeYoung hits a little flare into shallow right. It's going to get down. Newpar reads it on his way to third. And the ball gets away from Cal Mitchell. It drops in for a hit. The Cardinals have runners at the corners and nobody out. Good job by Lars Newpar.
Yeah, really good job. Great read by Newt there on this one. And with Paul DeYoung, sometimes you hit a couple of balls hard, you got nothing to show for it. Sometimes you just put one in the right place. This fastball beats him. You just got nobody home.
The shift. Second baseman's over on the shortstop side. Newpar can see it's going to get down. Mitchell actually overran it, or at least had issues getting it back in the infield. But regardless, it's first and third. And now, Brendan Donovan, who is homered back in the fifth when the Cardinals were down 3-0. Got them on the board. Infield in. The first pitch to Donovan. Off the plate. Left-handers hitting 168 this season against Crow.
Will Crow does like to try to get back into counts against lefties with his changeup. Maybe he leaves one up right here for Donovan. It's the changeup right there. Can't lay off of it. Good chance he might get it again.
And the 1-1 pitch. Now 1-2. Corey Dickerson on deck. A guy like Donovan in this spot, you like him because more times than not, he'll put the ball in play.
Well, this is where he really shortens up, makes you work. That fastball, he'll scorch a few foul. Changeups he'll battle until he gets something he can handle.
And the 1-2 pitch to Brendan Donovan on its way. The take, 2-2. The 2-2. Full count. Start DeYoung here.
We'll see why not.
Infield is in. And a big pitch coming up. The 3-2 to Donovan. Fouled back. DeYoung started towards second, then stopped. He's your runner at first base. Lars Newpar at third.
These are the at-bats we've been talking about all season long with Donovan. He just makes you work. He's frustrating to pitch against. Think you execute one, he just gets a piece of it until you end up making that mistake.
Brad, he has worked 72 full counts this season. And out of that, he's got 28 walks. The 3-2. Rounder foul. You start the runner, the risk is line drive double play. And all of a sudden, then you need a 2-out hit. With the infield in, not so sure they'd be throwing down. That's just something to think about.
That's a good point. Another good changeup right there by Will Crow that he ended up spoiling.
Donovan hitting 286 with a full count. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Tie ball game in the 9th. Donovan rips it to first. He'll step on the bag and get the out, but they could have gotten 2 if done properly. Chavis throws to second for the force and comes back for the double play. And we've seen Goldie many times almost hesitate to think about it in a split second to get the 2.
Yeah, we're really surprised. He had time to do it. I think there was the fear of him making that throw. He's worried that Newt's going to take off. Might have caught a break right there.
While we have a moment, quick word from BJC.
Getting back to normal feels like so much more than just normal. BJC is committed to improving the health of our patients and community.
Big Cardinal fan Matt Keeney watching, and so many folks in St. Louis and enjoying the history being made tonight. 696 from Albert Pujols to tie A-Rod. And now runners at second and third with 1 out. And to your point, you're right. He's got to look back to runner at third. But if he does, still that throw can be made to turn 2.
No, you have plenty of time. It goes to what we've talked about plenty, is just thinking ahead. You know, if that ball's hit you hard, what are you going to do? You take that little extra half a second to process it, it's too late. That play's in front of you anyhow. The runner's in front of you. You can see him out of the corner of your eye. You know if he's breaking towards home.
So infield in, runners at second and third. Corey Dickerson, 2 hits tonight. And the first pitch to him. Put in play to second. The throw to the plate and out. Castro to Heineman, who applied the tag. Newbar did everything to try and avoid that tag. Remember, the Cardinals have used a challenge.
Yeah, he pulled up early.
And so what you do here, if you're Ollie, you're out of challenges. But, as we've talked about, it's kind of almost like a gentleman's agreement here. Like, hey, we think we may have something here. The game's on the line. You may want to take a look at it.
That's exactly what's going to happen here.
Well, he may have just avoided that tag.
This is a crew chief review for the call in the field that there was no violation of the home plate blocking rule and the alcohol.
I think he may have gotten in there.
It was very, very close. From that angle, you see the hand. You don't necessarily see the fingers touching the plate.
That's where you want that overhead view if you could see that, but not available here. Take a look.
Wow.
If he's in safely, that is just a remarkable athletic slide by Lars Nootbaar.
You see Heineman looking into his dugout saying, hey, is he out?
I'll be honest, I think he's safe.
You got 2. I love that look. You got 2 individuals that are convinced with opposite results. The hard part again is it's so close. Is there going to be enough evidence to overturn it? Man, it looks like that right hand is in.
I agree. I'm with you.
After review, there is no violation of the home plate blocking rule. The out call stands. The runner is out.
Well, to your point before, Dan, absolutely worth having that conversation, getting the crew chief review to see. And I think you're right. He probably did get the hand in, but just not enough to overturn this. Not a good enough angle on it.
And that's what happens.
I mean, that is so close. You can't tell if the contact with Newt's wrist is at the same time the hand hits. Heck of a slide. Time for birthday boy.
And Goldie hitless tonight. Runners at first and third. He's 1 for 9. Couple of walks head to head against Crow. He's grounded out to third twice. Fly to left, fly to right. Runners at first and third. And a tie ball game. And a fastball in for a strike. Boy, the Cardinals with runners at first and third, nobody out. They did not score. With Donovan, then Dickerson. With 1 out, second and third. And now first and third, 2 down. And the 0-1. 0-2. He's gone right at him with the fastball. The 0-2 gets away, but not far enough.
Boy, that'd be a nice gift. Ooh. Very good job by Hindman on that one. It was a good job by him on that play, too, to get Newt on the tag. Gets
That's a heck of a play.
Slides over, gets his body in front of it.
One ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch.
Goldie continues to fight. He's got 71 2-strike hits on the season. Added another one last night. 44 2-out RBI. That's the most in baseball. I mean, this guy's about as clutch as they come.
The Cardinal fans get on their feet. The 2-2. Goldie with 14 homers with 2 strikes this year. Right now they just need a base hit. 3-2. Just got a piece. DeYoung is your runner down at third. Dickerson at first. And the game on the line. Three-two. Got a piece again.
This is a battle right here, and this is a guy that you know you can't make a mistake to. It's not just, hey, let me rip and roar one past him. You better spot up.
The ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Pitch number 27 for Crow. Been back-to-back sliders. Actually 3 in a row to Goldie in the last 3 pitches. Try to slip that fastball by him. He could be asking for trouble.
Well, I might shoot one right through that right side. He does that so well. If I'm Crow, I still would want to stay away from him. I don't want to venture in.
3-2 pitch. Bases loaded. What an at-bat. 9-pitch at-bat by Paul Goldschmidt. And it brings in Nolan Arenado.
Third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
Been up 3 times in the first, the third, and the fifth with a runner in scoring position and made the final out of the inning. Overall 0 for 4. Bases loaded. Nolan Arenado at the plate. In a 4-4 game here in the top of the ninth. He is 3 for 11 with a double, home run, 4 walks against Crow.
You hear the Cardinal fans getting loud. Let's go Cardinals. Ripping through PNC Park, waiting for this moment.
And the first pitch. Arenado rips it fair down into the corner. 2 runs will score. Goalie to third. They're going to wave him in. Relay to the plate. He is safe and the ball gets away. Arenado drives in 3. Seven for St. Louis.
Oh for 4. As you mentioned, coming into the at-bat, who cares? Get a pitch. What can you do with it? He got a 95-mile-an-hour sinker in and hammers it right down the left field line to bring in 3. Your big players stepping up in the biggest moments. They do it again.
And now Tyler O'Neill. The Cardinals leading 7-4. Strike 1. What a pick-me-up that is for this team. As they had runners at the corners, nobody out, and had not scored, and then dealing with 2 outs, and then Goldie was in the hole.
That had a chance to be a miserable inning, and it turns out to be an epic one.
Up and in to Tyler O'Neill. 3 for 11 with a triple against Crow. And Ryan Helsley has been throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. Inside.
How about going back that at bat by Goldie? Started off 0-2 and worked that thing, worked the walk, didn't expand his zone, fought off a bunch of tough pitches. Got it to Nolan, and he gets the job done.
38th double for Arenado. And O'Neill sends one to center. Brian Reynolds under it. The Cardinals pick up 3 off the bat of Nolan Arenado. What has been a fun Saturday night with a lot of emotion. 7-4 St. Louis. They lead it 7-4 over the Pirates, and the first lead of the ball game. Albert Pujols, 3 hits tonight. He's driven in 3 and 2 on 1 swing of the bat. That tied the game up 3-3 with home run number 696. He's 4th all time in home runs in the history of Major League Baseball. When he homers, Cardinals win a bunch. 297 and 115. The 721 winning percentage when Albert knocks one out of the ballpark.
Yeah, that guy has quite the presence, that's for sure. So does this guy, Ryan Helsley, your Chevy call to the bullpen, in for his 46th game up this season. That minuscule .98 ERA. I mean, he has been solid. One of the most dominant relievers in the game of baseball as the Cardinals got that big hit from Nolan Arenado. What an inning.
Cardinals with 33 come from behind wins this year. That's 5th most in baseball, trying to make it 34. Pittsburgh, 32 blown lead losses this season, 8th most in the game. So Helsley in. First batter is Cal Mitchell. And the first pitch, fastball at 100 and a strike. Currently 22 1/3 innings on the road this year for Helsley, and is not allowed a run. That's most in Major League history. John Warden back in 1968 with Detroit had a 0 ERA on the road. He had 20 innings. That's the only time that's ever happened in baseball. So 46th appearance, pitched 4 days ago against the Nats, and picked up save number 14 last time out. And the 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Lefties hitting 122 and the right-handers 117. Kisner is the new catcher in for St. Louis.
Come on now. No strikes.
And the 3-1. Hit the other way towards the corner and out of play.
You stay right there with it too. Fastball away from him. You didn't want to be in the count that you were in. Fell behind him, but make him beat you that way.
Newbar is now in right field, and Kisner goes to the second spot in the St. Louis lineup, occupied by Dickerson. And a 3-2 pitch to Mitchell. 101 from Ryan Helsley. He's walked 17 on the year, but 81 strikeouts. And the opposition hitting 119 against him as we play here on September 10th. What a year for Ryan Helsley.
It really has been. Just how nice is that to have somebody dominant.
And again, they're going to ask him to wipe his arm before 3-2 pitch.
We're going to wipe sweat off our arm. That's what we're doing now.
Wow. And it's not like I haven't heard that recently. That's a point of emphasis last, let's say, 24, 48 hours where umpires are going out and asking guys to wipe their arm off.
No, I have not seen that.
Nope. And a 3-2 pitch. Grounder foul. Just the timing of it, too. So what if he starts to sweat here in the next 5 minutes?
Well, certainly going to have to get a towel. That's kind of how this works. We'll keep one behind the mound.
That's bizarre.
I just don't understand it with the perspiration. Look, if there's sticky stuff all over the forearm, they're not just going to give you a towel. And by the way, that's not going to help.
3-2 pitch again. And another ground ball. So you got 8, 9, and 1. Mitchell here, Heineman on deck, and then Cruz. Ouch. Three-two pitch. Fly ball driven out to deep right. And off the very top of the wall. Nootbaar is there, and so is DeLuzio. A leadoff double off the very top of the wall from Cal Mitchell. The light rain, the drizzle begins to fall here in Pittsburgh.
Pretty good at bat right there by Cal Blanken Mitchell.
He's back at it again.
Yeah, he's got a new middle name again. Yep, still.
His second double of the night to go along with a walk.
Yeah, he had just fouled the 100-mile-an-hour fastball right off his foot and then hangs in there on this cutter in.
So here is Heineman. They've got Marcano and Park from the left side on their bench. Allen, the switch hitter who we saw last night, and also the backup catcher Delay. And there's strike one. That's the first base hit that Helsley is allowed to the Pirates this year. Now 1 for 16. Gets away, and Mitchell still at second base. Wow. Seen some curious base running by the Pirates last night and again tonight.
Curious is a synonym for bad, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, very curious here.
Swing and a miss. And I'm way out in front. And a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the next is hit out of play. So 1-2 the count. Pitch number 14 coming up. Here recently, just nothing has been easy.
No, you're having to earn every little bit of it, and the Cardinals have shown a lot of fight in this ball game. You just finish this off.
And the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball slowly hit. DeYoung stretch, got him. The stretch by Donovan. The key first out. That's a good play by Paul DeYoung.
It's a great play. Makes it on the run. Doesn't have time to really set his feet at all. I mean, he's got to throw this thing quickly on the transfer. Already ranging up the middle for a slowly hit ball. He was there, shaded towards second. Nice play. A good stretch on the other end.
Here's O'Neill Cruz. And such a big play. Did not have Cruz come up representing the tying run.
I'd like to avoid that.
Yeah, you feel a little bit more comfortable. He's been on base 3 times. A single to left. He walked in the 4th, and a home run to right that broke a 3-3 tie. And the first pitch taken in the dirt. Cardinals are trying to pick up win number 82 and go to 82-58. And back to a game above 500 on the road. Here's a 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and two. Going with the breaking ball here against O'Neill Cruz.
If you're going to go to it again, need to spot it for sure and keep it away from down and in.
What a play there by Kisner to keep it in front. Keeps a runner at third.
Well, that now is 4 curveballs in a row from Helsley to O'Neill Cruz. Wonder if maybe want to change the eye levels with a 4-seamer.
See if we'll chase up.
Yeah. Just stay away. I mean, you throw up and away.
And the 2-2. Popped up. Who wants it? Arenado. Everybody clears out. Wise choice.
We'll make it 5 in a row on the breaking ball and end up being the right decision. Gets him way out in front.
There were 2 outs and a runner at third. Brian Reynolds, the final hope now for the Pirates. In the bottom of the 9th, he is over 3. Couple of walks head to head against Ryan Helsley. Flaherty, Palante, Romero, Gallegos, and Ryan Helsley. And the Cardinal fans rise. Swing and a miss and a strike.
Back to the breaking ball again for Helsley. You're geared up for the fastball. You got to be ready for 100. The breaking ball doesn't have to be perfect. Just got to be that change of speed. That's exactly what that is. Nearly 20 miles an hour difference.
The 0-1 pitch. Just missed. Since the 1st of August, Cardinals best record in Major League Baseball, 27-10. The Dodgers at 26-10. The 1-1 pitch by Helsley. And a base hit into right. The ball game extended, and the tying run will come to the plate. Brian Reynolds turns on it, picks up his 51st run batted in. Cal Mitchell scores, and it cuts the lead to 7-5.
Fastball up and in. Spots it. I mean, that's where he wanted it. Talked about this with Rodolfo Castro earlier. There is plenty of room inside to him. Now, you better be careful. You better not miss middle against him. And late in the game, oftentimes try to stay away. Be fine with trying to let him beat you that way. I don't believe he's got the power to take you deep opposite field.
So the runner at first is Reynolds. Donovan playing behind him at first base. Castro homered back in the first inning. The first pitch bounced. Reynolds will take second. Fielder's indifference. And the 1-0 pitch by Helsley to Castro. Ground ball, and this should do it. The Cardinals come back with a dramatic win in the ninth, thanks to Nolan Arenado, on a night in which Albert Pujols makes history.
But the Cardinals needed this one. They needed it badly, and they stepped up in a big way. Nolan Arenado, Albert, the bullpen. Just a team win right there, and your biggest player stepped up in the biggest moments.
So the Cardinals take game 2 of the series, but the final is 7-5. What a fun night here in Pittsburgh. Off to the post-game show.